Last night, two people that work for the Israeli embassy were shot. Two Israeli embassy staff members were shot and killed outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum in D.C. Okay? This is breaking news. And a lot of people instantly rushed online to get their thoughts out.
Heartbreaking and senseless again, and that is where we're going to start this morning with that shocking news from Washington that you're waking up to. Last night, two Israeli embassy staff members were shot and killed as they left an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum. Now, video from the scene shows the arrest of a man who appears to be the shooter. The victims have been identified as a young couple who were set to be engaged. They were killed right across the street from an FBI field office and less than a mile from the U.S. Capitol. Scott McFarland is near the scene right now. Scott, good morning. I know that this is a very fluid situation right now, but what can you tell us so far?
Hey, Gail, the Capitol Jewish Museum is that smaller brick building behind me, if you look closely at your screen. And that police tape is hanging from the side of the Washington, D.C. FBI field office. That's how high security.
Have you seen everyone trying to call a false flag event? I think people's brains have been cooked. But I get why people think that. There are a million different opinions out there. Some people think, oh, it's great. I'm glad that this happened. Other people say this is the most heinous act of violence that has ever taken place. Please do not pay attention to the dead Palestinian children, that Israel is melting at a rapid clip, and instead talk about this. There are plenty of people who are using this as an opportunity to be like, this is a heinous anti-Semitic act of violence. Everyone that says free Palestine should be instantly jailed, all this stuff. Ultimately, I mean, look, this is, let's just go through the details and I'll give you my perspective. Okay. What the fuck does set to be engaged mean? Are they engaged to be married? Said to be engaged is they're humanizing the victims in this situation. That's why they're you know, this is how it goes. Obviously, there's no such humanization, of course, when the victim of an Islamophobic attack is a 7-year-old child, and that doesn't happen obviously in the United States of America. But the reason why they're talking about it is because he bought a ring to basically announce his engagement to the girl that he was dating. They're both in the Israeli embassy
area.
But the reason why people are like saying this is a psyop is for two reasons. I don't think it is, for the record. And I'll tell you why. The reason why people think it's a psyop is because this happened right after the Israeli occupying force shot at diplomats in the West Bank. And immediately people with maybe a little bit too much pattern recognition turn around and go, ooh, that's probably a way, like they probably executed these like low-level Israeli diplomats so that they can like change the SEO or whatever when people type in Israeli diplomat attack or something. And no, that's not the case. That's ridiculous. Or, people think it's a psyop or people think it's a psyop because like they're just like sacrificing low-level Israel embassy workers because low-level embassy workers because they claim, you know, they want to change like the victimhood narrative back to Israel or something. Okay.
We are steps away from the Justice Department, from the D.C. police headquarters, from the U.S. Capitol. This was nevertheless the scene of a targeted attack last night.
Tonight, a heinous crime was committed.
A fatal shooting outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C.
Damn, he hit that Jewish hard.
Wednesday night. Law enforcement says prior to the attack, the suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside the museum.
He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire, striking both of our decedents. After the shooting, the suspect then entered the museum and was detained by event security.
This morning, the Israeli Foreign Ministry named the two victims as Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram, embassy staff workers in Washington.
I don't know about the girl, but I know the dude's background. I've looked into the dude's background. And the dude is like a Jews for Jesus guy. He is a German Christian originally, which makes the story even crazier when people are like, oh, dude, this is an anti-Semitic hate crime. It's like, bro, very clearly, the dude even wrote a fucking manifesto, the dude that did it, okay? The dude that did it wrote a manifesto, and it's entirely about Israel, okay? Like, entirely about Israel. The victims are Israeli embassy workers, and not only that, but also, like, one of the dudes that work for the Israeli embassy is a German Christian. Like, a German Christian that was... I guess he like changed his name or something. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. Like but regardless, this could have been anti-Semitic or not. I don't know. Could he have known that they were staff, or did he just target random people leaving the museum? Impossible to tell. And the possibility of backlash from the state is terrifying. This is how Kristallnacht started. Exactly. And to be, yes, I don't think that the person who, like, the gunman knew exactly who the fuck he was targeting. And the reality of the matter is, this is, I'll give you an example. Yeah, the dude fucking also volunteered for the IDF, even though he's...
Man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem.
The suspect, who's now in custody, was identified by police as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez from Chicago. The FBI says it's investigating ties to potential terrorism and his motivation.
The suspect chanted, "Free, free Palestine," while in custody.
Witnesses say Rodriguez was with them inside the museum after the shooting before they realized who he was.
So about 10 minutes later, when the cops actually came in, he said, "I did this." He said, "Sir, I'm unarmed." He put his hands up. He grabbed a red keffiyeh out of his pocket and started the Free Palestine chants.
President Trump responded to the shooting.
He dude, oh my God. He hit like every fucking button he possibly could. Yeah. By the way, he was Christian. She was an American Jew. None of them were Israeli, yet they are literally working for Israel. Insane that these people don't have to register as foreign agents. I know, it's kind of the point. This is how it works. Like, it's just, if he had yelled from the river to the sea, that would have nuked him. No, dude, him saying free Palestine and also having like the fucking red keffiyeh on the ground, like all of that is so perfectly placed for the government to say, if you have a red keffiyeh, you're going to jail. You're a terrorist. If you say free Palestine, you're going to jail. You're a terrorist. Like, it is, I don't think it's a false flag or anything, but it's so perfectly designed for the government to utilize in an effort to stop people from saying, like, Israel, please stop murdering children. Like, it is so perfectly designed, okay? Anyway, let's continue.
Posting these horrible DC killings, based obviously on anti-Semitism, must end. Adding, hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA.
Dude, you are Donald Trump. What are you saying? Donald Trump. Donald Trump saying this is like Adolf Hitler saying this, okay? It's like, what do you mean hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA? You literally won on hatred and radicalism. You are Donald Trump. Did you forget who you are? Yesterday, he literally was talking about how there's a white genocide happening in South Africa. It is literally a white nationalist conspiracy that virtually no one believes. White people in South Africa don't fucking believe it. And only a select handful neo-Nazis advance this conspiracy theory. And Donald Trump is one of those guys now.
Trump contacted Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was with the Israeli ambassador.
Together with President Trump, our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, will stand together tall and firm, and we will confront this moral depravity without fear and with determination.
Israel's prime minister says they are strengthening security arrangements at their posts at their Israeli government facilities across the globe. An initial search by law enforcement.
Yeah, I don't endorse the notion of it being a false flag, but here's the video of him being apprehended. I know, I saw this, which is why I was like, this is insane. Like, the way, like, look, there is a fucking, Like the guy picks up the keffiyeh from the ground. This isn't even the best version of this video, because like I think he literally takes it out of his fucking pocket or something and like tosses it. By the way, one of the craziest parts about this in this video is that there are dudes there. This guy just shot people. He is turning himself in. He says, free, free Palestine. And there's still motherfuckers there that are going from Hamas. I was like, bro, do you have no sense of safety? Like, how embedded is this in your mind? Like, automatically you hear someone go free Palestine and you go from Hamas. It blew my fucking mind. I was like, dude, no sense of being. No, you're just like, at that point, you are just a vehicle for Israel. You are in DC as an American citizen, and you are so invested in like behaving like a bot that you hear free, free Palestine, and immediately, even after, like you don't know what the situation is. You don't know if there's a bomb there. You don't know if there's other shooters there. You are literally just auto Hasbara bot mode. You hear free, free Palestine, you go from Hamas. You know what I'd be doing in that situation? Running away. That's what I would be doing. I wouldn't be like immediately, time for the retort. Like, you're not a part of a barbershop quartet or whatever the fuck it's called, okay? What do you mean?
Free Palestine from Hamas.
Like, what? Like, that's insane. That's insane.
Free Palestine from Hamas.
They are definitely going to start clamping down on Palestine protests just before Israel's displacement plan. Yeah, I think so too. I think so as well. I also, I mean, it's like saying that they're going to clamp down on pro-Palestinian protests now is kind of funny too, because it's like, now you mean, you know, they have been doing that already pretty aggressively. As a matter of fact, they've been doing that. So I don't think that that's like anything new. They'll just like escalate it. But yeah, here, I'll give you the analog here, okay? Luigi Mangione was an adventurist, okay? He had obviously a goal, and because so many people had been directly victimized by healthcare in this country, that as soon as we knew who the victim was, everybody immediately understood what the motives were, right? Allegedly, Luigi Mangione, despite being an adventurist, had a clear-cut agenda that most Americans very quickly understood. Even if they didn't agree with the methods, like they kind of understood where the resentment was coming from. I wouldn't say that this situation is comparable, and here's why. Because Luigi Mangione, allegedly, okay, I think he's innocent personally, but when Luigi Mangione targeted the United Healthcare CEO, that was the United Healthcare CEO. Luigi Mangione didn't go and kill the I don't know, reception desk worker at United Healthcare and then turned around and said free healthcare, right? And that's the major difference. If Luigi had done it, of course, allegedly. I'm saying allegedly, Luigi Mangione, who I think is an innocent man and is unjustly maligned, if allegedly he had done this act, that would be the equivalent to what took place here. Okay? That would be the equivalent to what took place here. Now, I'm not going to entertain the emotional blackmail that Israel defenders who very clearly don't care about victims of Islamophobia, or even these people that died and simply only care about defending Israel's interests, the emotional blackmail that they are going to try to enforce here at a time when Israel has very openly stated their desire for permanent ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian population in the Gaza Strip. That's not going to happen, okay? So don't expect that from me. I'm not entertaining that, okay? Having said that, you know, that's my position. I explained it to you. This is, you know, going after low-level people, and it's most likely going to be used against the Palestinian movement. But I'm also not going to sit around and constantly fucking wail away either. Okay. Did you see PSL National's tweet? Yes. So the alleged perpetrator yesterday was a former PSL member. So, of course, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, for those of you who don't know what PSL is, it's the Party for Socialism and Liberation. We reject any attempt to associate the PSL with the DC shooting. Elias Rodriguez is not a member of the PSL. He had a brief association with one branch of the PSL that ended in 2017. We know of no contact with him in over 7 years. We have nothing to do with this shooting and do not support it. So I think it's of course appropriate to say this. Like, it's appropriate for them to come out and say this. And that's also part of the reason why I talked to a bunch of my other friends as well this morning. Like, no person, especially no person like immediately affiliated with the Party for Socialism and Liberation, who are fantastic organizers overall, no organizer is going to do something like this. And no organizer is going to associate their organization with something like this, because organizers understand that this level of association with an act such as this one will be catnip for the federal government, who is already using every fucking avenue they can to clamp down on free speech and free association. So before people get like in their feelings and go, what the fuck, I can't believe that they're saying this, like, don't be a fucking moron. They're probably still going to aggressively come after PSL anyway. They're probably aggressively going to come after any and every pro-Palestinian person, myself included. They've already even started coming after myself, as far as I understand.